It's fair to say that the odds were stacked against Land Rover when it came to replacing the Defender. But you know what? They've done a pretty good job, and Car Sales has already driven the 110 and come away very impressed. But now it's time for the icon. Now it's time we drive the short wheelbase 90 version. So, things to know about this is the difference between the 90 and the 110 is obviously the wheelbase. The wheelbase of this is 2,587 millimeters, which is actually 102 inches, so forget the 90 coin. But compare that with the 110. The 110 has 3,000 and something millimeter wheelbase, so you can see the big difference. Lengthwise, this car is about 4.3 meters, and to put that in perspective, something like a Toyota RAV4 is around 4.6 meters. Other things to know about the new 90. The new 90 actually arrives just as Land Rover is introducing its new Ingenium 6-cylinder diesel engines, and that's a really good thing because remember the 110 was introduced with a 2-litre 4-cylinder, and when you're paying this sort of money, you want 6 cylinders, don't you? Inside the Defender 90, well, it picks up where the Defender 110 left off, which is a good thing. I mean, we love the design, we love the sort of utilitarian rubber mat feel, the premium materials, and remember, this has also got the central perch seat here in this trim, which means it's a real 6-seater, which is going to be a big advantage for some families. And of course, there is some luggage space. Apparently this is 397 litres worth, but yeah, it doesn't look that impressive to me. But the impressive thing about the new Defender is, well, it doesn't drive like the old one. Now remember the old one, well, it was so agricultural, it was like an old tractor. This one, on the other hand, gets the Range Rover D7X platform, so it's aluminium intensive and, well, it's a monocoque. Forget about the old ladder frame chassis. This car should drive like a car. As you would expect with its Range Rover underpinnings, the Defender 90 is, well, unlike any Defender you've ever driven, and that is such a good thing. The last car was horrible. Now we're driving the P400, and there are some good, very good, and, well, quite poor things about this car. Let's start with the good. The first thing is, remember, this has a 3-litre inline 6-cylinder turbo, and it's seriously, seriously quick. Now, producing 294 kilowatts and 550 Newton per meters of torque, this thing can hit 100 kilometers per hour in, wait for it, 6 seconds. Now, the problem with having that level of power and torque is at times the chassis really does feel a little bit overworked. But I think that's because this car also rides on big 20-inch all-terrain tyres that give up the ghost a little bit too early. I think if you spend the majority of time on the road, you should have road tyres. And that's the other thing about the Defender 90 is, okay, it's nowhere near as bad as the last model, but this car constantly reminds you about how good this is off-road by telling you this suspension is not made for the road. Now, the model we're driving is the short wheelbase, it's the 90 version, but that still somehow weighs 2.3 tonnes, which is just obscene really considering its size and dimensions compared to a RAV4 for example. Now, what does that weight mean? Well, that weight means that there's extra body roll in corners, and it generally feels a heavier, less nimble car to drive than any other SUV. The other compromise about the Defender 90 is the ride comfort. This really can be fidgety and upset by even the smoothest looking road surfaces, and I think that's in part because of the shorter wheelbase. I think the 110 will ride better. So what I'm saying is, beside a modern SUV, this is still distinctly average to drive.